Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, student.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
Assalamu warahmatullah.
So last time we were studying this projectile motion article, and we have solved problems of this projectile motion. Today I will solve some more problems, and starting the next article, uniform circular motion. So actually what we are doing, we are studying actually this chapter number 4. So the article is projectile motion. So last time I skipped this problem, and let's see today. So this is related with projectile motion. The question is, a baseball is hit at ground level. First is this one. So this is a ground level, and a baseball is hitting from here at this initial velocity with some initial velocity. The ball is observed to reach its maximum height. So these terms are important. Maximum height. So it means the baseball is going up and then reach its maximum height. This is the maximum height. 3 seconds after being hit. So it will take 3 seconds to reach this one. This is the maximum height. Now, after this, the question is, and 2.5 seconds after reaching this maximum height, mean after reaching this maximum height, this is maximum height, after reaching this one, and 2.5 seconds later, the ball is observed to barely clear a fence. Fence or barrier, here is a barrier some, or fence. Clear a fence or a barrier that is 97.5 meters from where it was hitting from here, and barrier or fence is here. So the distance is 97.5 meters. How high is the fence? So we have to find this height. So surely the ball is coming from here and up to maximum height, then it will go like this one. So if it comes here, then surely if it is taking 3 seconds, then here it will 3 seconds, because this is the time of flight. But he is saying after 2.5 seconds. So it means the 2.5 second is around here. Okay. Our question is to find this height. So to find the height, you know that we are normally using the formula delta y is equal to vi y multiplied by time minus 1/2 gt square. This is the formula we are using. But here in this data, we have a time, 3 seconds. We have this x distance, 97.5 meters. Okay. So we need VIY actually. So VIY, you remember that this is equal to VI sine of theta. And VIX is equal to VI cos of theta. But from here, these two formulas, we cannot find the value of VIY. To find the VI of Y, what we will do? The ball is throwing or hitting from here. It's two components. One is VI sine of theta and one is VI cos of theta. But at the maximum height here, maximum height, then VF of Y will be 0. Surely there will be VI of Y here at this level. So what we will do? We will apply the formula VF of Y is equal to VI of Y minus GT. So VF of Y is 0 at the maximum height, and VI of Y minus 9.8 into t. So you can find the value of v or I of y, 9.8 multiplied by 3, it will be 29.4 meter per second. So in this way, you can find the value of vi of y. Now what we need this y or h value. So you can see this is 3 seconds at this position, and then at this position, this is not 3 seconds. This is at this position, it is 2.5 seconds. It is given in the question, 2.5 seconds. So from A point to B point, what is the total time? The total time is 5.5 seconds. So I'm writing here the total time is 5.5 seconds. So we are applying the formula, the same formula, that to find h or y, VIY is 29.4. What is the total time? The total time is 5.5 minus 1 over 2 into g, 9.8 into t square, 5.5 whole square. So when you solve this one, your answer will come 13.47 meter. So this is the height which we want to find this one. So in this way you can solve it. Okay. After this, problem, I am moving to the next problem, which I want to solve this one. Okay, let's see this one. So a rifle is aimed horizontally at the center of a large target. So here is a large target, and this is the horizontal. The initial speed of the bullet is 240 meter per second. This is initial horizontal velocity, 240 meter per second. How I know this? This is x, VIX, because it is written here horizontally. So this is 60 meter. The initial speed of the bullet is this one. What is the distance from the center of the target to the point where the bullet strikes the target? This is the center, and the bullet is firing from at the in front of this center, and the bullet is going like this one. So what we have to find? We have to find this y distance. Okay. So to find this y distance, what we will do? We will apply the formula that delta y is equal to VIY into t minus 1 over 2 gt square. But here in this equation, here at this position, VIY is 0. But we have no time. To find the time, what we will do? Vx is equal to VIX into t, and t is equal to x over VIX. X is 60 meter and VIX is 240. So this is cancelled, and this is 6 ones are 4, 6 fours are 24. This is 1 by 4 second. Okay. So what we will do? We will put the value of this one. To find this delta y or y value, YIY is 0 minus 1 over 2 into g. G is 9.8 into t square. So t square is 1 over 4. 1 over 4 means 0.25 square. So delta y mean this is this distance minus this distance. So this is normally minus 1 over 2 into 4.9 into 0.25 square. So this negative positive, and y is equal to, this is 9.8. And when you solve this one, your answer will be 0.306 meter. So this is equal to 30.6 centimeter, because the answer is given in centimeter. 30.6 centimeter means 31 centimeter. So this is answer. Okay. After this problem, see another problem. An airplane flies horizontally with a speed of, horizontally So here is written horizontally, speed of this one. So it means this is VIX is 300 meter per second. At an altitude means Y, 400 meter. Assume that the ground is leveled at what horizontal distance? At what horizontal distance? So you have to find the X value. From a target, must the pilot release a bomb so as to hit the target? So we want to find X value. To find the X value, you know that VIX into T. So X is equal to 300 into T. But we don't know the T value. Okay. To find the T value, again, we have to take this value. Y is equal to VIY into T minus 1 over 2 GT square. So Y is minus 400, not 400, minus. Why? Because we are taking YF minus YI. So YF is 0 and YI is 400. So VIY is, this is horizontally throwing. So 0 minus 1 over 2 into 9.8 into T square. So you can find the value of T square is equal to 400 multiplied by 2 divided by 9.8. Okay. So T will be what? This is 400 multiplied by 2 divided by 9.8 and under root. So in this way, the value of T is 9.03 second. So X value will become 300 multiplied by 9.03. So this is around 2700 meter. So you can write this value 2.7 kilometer, because the answer is given in kilometer. So this is answer. Okay. After this problem is related with the basketball problem. So last time I have discussed with you the basketball situation in projectile motion. So here is the problem is a 2 meter tall basketball player. Here is a basketball player. Suppose this is a basketball player and this is the ground. Attempts a goal 10 meter from the basket. Here is basket and basket is here. So the distance is 10 meter and its height is 3.05 meter. This is given. If he shoots the ball at a 45-degree angle, at what initial speed? So it means the initial velocity is making an angle of 45 degree. So the ball is going like this one and coming here. We have to find this initial speed. At what speed he will throw that the ball will fall in this hoop. This is called hoop. So we need this value, VI. So to solve this problem, it's better to apply the formula of equation of trajectory. This is simple. So equation of trajectory, you remember that y is equal to x tan theta minus gx square over 2vi square cos square theta. This is the formula. So I'm writing the formula in this form. Delta y is equal to x. I'm writing again tan theta minus gx square over 2vi square cos square theta. So delta y mean yf minus yi is equal to x tan theta minus gx square over 2vi square cos square theta. So yf is 3.05. So 3.05 minus yi. The man is tall 2 meter. This is 2. X 10. 45 because angle is given 45 minus G 9.8 x 10 square divided by 2 into VI square, because we need VI's, into cos square theta. So cos square theta will be what? So this is cos of 45 and square. First you will take the cos of 45 and then square of it. So this is 1.05 and this is tan 45 is 1. You can check in the calculator. And this is 9.8 multiplied by 100 divided by 2 into VI square, cos of 45 0.707 square. So when you solve this one, I'm not solving this one, you can solve with the calculator. It's easy for you. So the answer will be, VI answer will be 10.47 meter per second. So this is the answer. So you can see that this is 10.5 and 10.47 is the same one. After this, a football is thrown upward at a 30 degree. So angle is given 30 degree. To the horizontal, to throw a 40-meter pass, this is actually the X distance or the range, and this is 40 meter. What must be the initial speed of the ball? Initial speed mean VI. So this is very simple problem. You can solve it. R is equal to VI square into sine of 2 theta over G. So this implies that VI is equal to R into 2G, R multiplied by G divided by sine of 2 theta and under root. So VI is equal to R is what? 40. G 9.8. Sine of 2 theta, sine of 60 degree. 2 multiplied by 30, 60. So when you solve this one, your answer will be 21.27 meter per second. So this is about 21.3. So these are the problems which I want to discuss with you about the projectile motion. But remember that in projectile motion, the formula is VI square sine of 2 theta over G. So you can expand this formula VI square 2 sine theta cos theta over G, like this one also. So if we have theta value is 20 degree and you want to find the R value and the VI value is given, suppose 100 meter per second, you can find the range by applying this formula or this formula. And if you have 70 degree, then you can find the range. So you will see that the both range will be the same. This is due to this sine and cosine angle. Okay. Some values of sine is equal to the cosine values. Like, so, you know that sine of 30 is equal to sine 30 is equal to cos of 60. So that's why this range will be equal. Remember this one. This is important. Okay, so this is all about the projectile motion problems which I have discussed with you. Now I want to move forward in the next article, and that is the uniform circular motion. So let's see the uniform circular motion. So last time we have in chapter number 4, the title is motion in 2 dimension. Motion in 2 dimension. Okay. So in this chapter, we have studied the first or the second article that is about displacement in 2 dimension, velocity in 2 dimension, acceleration in 2 dimension, and then constant acceleration equations in 2 dimension. And then we have studied the projectile motion. which is the most important article, projectile motion. And the third is uniform circular motion. So we want to study this one. And then we will study the tangential and normal acceleration. And then we will find the radial net acceleration. From here, we will find the net acceleration. So these are the articles which I want to discuss with you. So first, see the uniform circular motion. So in uniform circular motion, if a body is moving in a circular track like this one, and circle is 2 dimensional, its speed is constant. If speed is constant, velocity is variable. Velocity is variable. Mean what? So if a body is moving in a circle, if the body is here, its velocity is here. If the body is here, its velocity is here. If the body is here, its velocity is here. Body is here, velocity is here. So you can see the direction of the velocity is changing. Here we can say that speed is constant and velocity direction is changing. Direction is changing. So that's why it has acceleration. So last time I discussed with you, if a body is moving in a straight line, this is point A, point B, point C, point D. Here the speed or the velocity is 5 meters per second, 10, 15, 20, like this one. So it is increasing. Increasing means this number is changing, but direction is same. In this case, the direction is same. But in this case, the direction is changing, but this number is constant. So either the number is changing or the direction is changing, there will be acceleration. But in this case, that acceleration is called AC, and AC means centripetal acceleration. Centripetal acceleration. Okay. And this is our target today to study this one. So what we will do? First, see here the acceleration. Normally we are discussing 4 kinds of acceleration. Acceleration kinds. One is centripetal acceleration. One is tangential acceleration. Third is net acceleration. And fourth is angular acceleration. And the other is the linear acceleration, which we have discussed in chapter number 2. So centripetal acceleration is AC, C for centripetal. Tangential is AT. Net is the combination of AC and AT. And this is AT square plus AC square and under root. And angular acceleration is alpha, but we will study this one in the next chapter. So I want to focus on centripetal acceleration. So this is one kind of uniform circular motion. So in circular motion, if the body is here and then body is here, at this point, the velocity is VI. And at this point, the velocity is VF. So the radius is from here to here. And radius from here to here is this one. If this is Ri and this is Rf and angle is theta, and you can draw a line shortest distance, this is the displacement, and this will be delta R. So delta R over R is equal to delta V over V. So delta V over V is where? This is 1V, this is VI, and this is VF. If I join the tails of this VF with VI, and this is our delta V. And this angle is same as this angle. So you can write this equation in terms of this one. What we want to do? Delta R over R multiplied by delta T. I am dividing myself. Delta V over V into delta T. So delta R over delta T is what? Delta R over delta T is V. So this is V over R. Delta V over delta T is what? A over V. This is V. So if you simplify this one, then your answer will be V square over R. So this is our centripetal acceleration. So here only the direction is changing. Here only the direction is changing. Direction is changing, but the value of the speed is constant. Okay. If a body is starting from here and coming back to A, then how much distance it covers? It covers 2 pi r, and this is called circumference. And circumference in Arabic is called mohit. So if you want to find the speed, then the distance over time. So 2 pi r is the distance and the time is t. So you can also use this formula to solve the problems. But it depends on the data, what kind of data is given. Here, the speed, velocity is here, velocity is here. So in the next part of this chapter, that is the tangential acceleration. Tangential acceleration. But I just want to give you an idea why we are discussing tangential acceleration in circular motion. You know that motion is in circle. If the velocity is here, if the point is here, its velocity is here. The radial or the centripetal acceleration direction is in this way. The radius vector direction is this. This is the centripetal acceleration direction. And this is the velocity direction. And this velocity is tangent to this point. And if the velocity is here, it is tangent at this point. If it is here, it is tangent at this point. If it is tangent, it is tangent at this point. So in the uniform circular motion, in the previous case, we have seen that speed is constant, but direction is changing. If we have speed is variable, speed is changing, and direction is also changing, then we use the concept of tangential acceleration. Then we are not using this AC is equal to V square over R. This formula is valid only when speed is constant and direction is changing. But if speed and direction both are changing, then we will use the tangential and radial acceleration combination. So we will discuss all these things in the next lecture. Yes. If you have any question, you can ask me. So if you don't have any question, see you in the next lecture. But you must attend the classes actively because it is very difficult for you to solve the problems in the exam. Okay, thank you. See you in the next lecture.
See you.
Thank you.
Okay, salam alaikum.